enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. And if you join me, you will float too. This is Jordan, along here with his buddies Eric and Ed, and tonight we're talking about It, Part 1, or Chapter 1. How you guys doing?
Floating, I guess.
That is a figure of speech that is very applicable to you at this moment.
Yeah, body and mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am. I'm not too bad myself.
Well, that's great. I'm good. I'm glad to hear that.
This has been something I've been waiting for a while here. Was really excited to have this happen, and I am so excited that I can tell you guys that I finished the book before I saw the movie. So I went in with spoiler filled.
Sure. Geez, you came quite prepared then for everything. I was able to get the Cliff Notes after seeing the movie of all the shit that was in the books that did not make it to film, and when it highlights just that, it takes away the context, and it's troublesome to hear. You know, if you know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about all the sex acts here, boys. I'm talking,
Yes.
I literally did none of that. Are you talking about child molestation?
That's what happens in the book.
This movie. Well, this movie is nothing but child molestation. Like, there's two moments where the 13-year-old girl is. Well, number one, her dad says, he basically tells everybody that he's been molesting her for a long time. And then the fucking pharmacist.
Oh yeah, the Lois Lane. Nobody liked that.
That kind of turned me off, to be honest with you. Like, I hated that. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, no. Did you see that?
It's in context of the story.
There's an interview with Stephen King saying that in regards to, it was in more of the sex scene in the sewers where the girl, what's her name, Bev. Says to all the boys, "Hey, I think all of you guys should fuck me right now." And so it was in context to that when Stephen King was asked about it, and he had said that it's kind of weird that he thinks, because he thought he wrote it in a much different context than what we're taking it as. It was a different time. He wrote it as something as a transition from child to adult kind of type thing, whatever the hell acid trip excuse he was on, but. It was more so that the point was we are more focused on the sexuality of things, but we are completely okay with all of like the child gore and murder scenes that we see in the film too. Like we're definitely cool with that, right? Which kind of I was. That was fucking dope, man. Like finally get to see a kid being killed on screen.
I mean, it's one thing to like. It's a horror movie, and murders are going to happen and like deaths are going to happen, but to dedicate a character's entire story arc to the fact that her dad's been raping her is fucked up. I mean, it's in context. I get it. It's the thing that scares her the most, like because now she's not a little girl. Like her introductory scene outside of the school was she's having her period and she's buying tampons. So the most scariest thing to her is her no longer being a little girl. So like now there's period blood all over the bathroom. Not period, but blood all over the bathroom. So like it's in context. I get it, but like it still fucked me up.
Sure, it does, and also in the book too. When you guys were talking about it, when Bev asked the boy to train on her, they do. And a little bit of history here, just about it to the fans. There is going to be a part 2. It's confirmed. This movie was made for only $35 million, and as of yesterday, it has grossed $209.9 million.
Oh yeah.
Guys, this is what we're experiencing right now, boys. This is a phenomenon. I mean, we have not seen anything like this since The Dark Knight in 2008. This is going to, in my theory, in my opinion, this is going to revitalize horror. This is This is going to do for horror what Scream did for horror in the mid '90s. We're going to get a slew of horror films. We got Saw coming out this year, which we'll be reviewing that probably.
But
This
I hope we
this
get
is
the
going to be big.
Nun.
Yeah, The Nun's coming out.
But here we have there's a signature style here though, boys. I mean, like again with the Nun, you have that being under like the whole James Wan kind of umbrella, and that part. But like it is a Stephen King remake, but the way that it was done is the reason why it's doing so well is because people like having like this mix. They like having it to be fun. Scary isn't supposed to be scary, scary is fun. And
Absolutely.
that's what they're like this felt like a haunted house ride,
Ooh, good
basically.
analogy. Yeah,
I
very good analogy.
as
Yeah.
I'm sitting here watching the movie in theater and I'm having fun, like I'm enjoying it. The people I'm with, they're having fun with it too. But then again I've also laughed at Human Centipede over here, everybody. So but I mean like that's just I mean but there were a lot of it was goofy at parts and it was great and then but there were other parts where it hit and it was freaky as shit and it was Bill Skarsgård did a great job with Pennywise. Like, absolutely, I think exceeded everyone's expectations. At least I really hope so. To kind of because that's no pun intended here. I mean, uh, some big shoes to fill.
No, it is, and to go
Big
on
clown
that,
shoes to
and
fill.
so sorry to compare, because I got a funny theater story to tell you guys because we were talking about our theater experiences. But it's like, again, I apologize. I'm comparing this to Dark Knight, and what I mean by that is it's arguably that nobody can beat Jack Nicholson as the Joker in 1989 Batman. Right? He's just so good at it.
Sure.
And then Heath Ledger comes out and pretty much made the movie. If you take Heath Ledger's performance out, the movie's kind of dull. But Heath Ledger made that, and he made it good. That's what I think Bill Skarsgård did. Nobody can beat Tim Curry as Pennywise in the 1990 TV miniseries, but Bill Skarsgård is the Heath Ledger in this new rebooted verse, and people are screaming Oscar for him. I mean, people are saying I was watching him on Conan and other late night talk shows, and rumors are floating around that he's going to be nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Wow, really?
So,
Well, before you guys move on, I only agree with the idea that this is like The Dark Knight because it's a movie that everybody loves that I fucking hate. I hated it.
You didn't like this movie, huh?
I didn't hate it. I'm over exaggerating, but like I did not like it. Absolutely not.
You
Was
know
not
what?
a fan.
You're okay.
I thought Bill Skarsgård was good, and I thought the kids were good. Like it was acted well. It was the best, but the best part about the whole movie, and maybe this is more of a thing about to Stephen King than anything, was the banter between the kids, like that Richie kid and then
Yeah.
like the what Eddie or whatever, like the banter between the two of them, and they continuously made dick jokes
Beaver Trap
throughout the
Town
whole
Boys.
movie. Right, was that was incredible. Like you've just seen an entire room filled with blood, and you make a period joke. Like that's incredible. It's really well done. It's funny as hell. And people, and our fans and our listeners know that I have the dirtiest sense of humor. My favorite joke from Ghostbusters was the queef joke. But like, I thought I was so disappointed in this movie. It's not even funny. Other than that, those two things.
to go on that, we gotta talk about our theater experiences because I really hear what you say about this. But boys, do I have a doozy? And I wanted to wait to tell you guys this. I wanted the fans to hear it. And I want you guys to hear it. So my wife and I can't make this up, boys. My wife and I go to the city to see the movie. We were going to go to a small town, but we couldn't get the tickets. It was sold out.
Oh.
So we went to the city. Okay. It was an 8:00 showing on a Friday night, and we go there. We can't find a seat. It's completely packed. And we have to sit at the very front, the first row. You know how you have
Ugh,
like the low
horrible.
front, and then you
Yeah.
have the steps to go to the stadium seating.
Yeah.
We're in the very front. So we're playing. So the movie's playing, and my wife and I are like, "Oh my god, this sucks." Not the movie; it's just because we're so goddamn close to the screen. The end of the story is this is ridiculous. I've never had this before in my life. It's the scene where the kids go into the house for the first time, and Richie sees a missing kid poster of himself. Right?
Yeah. Freaky as fuck. Yeah.
All of a sudden, the movie pauses and the lights turn on. And 4 ushers walk in and say, "Sorry, folks, somebody got really scared and they threw up over themselves. We got to go clean it up here real quick." And the person was escorted out all over them. And they
Wow.
had to, and then that whole couple of rows around the person, they had to leave. We were so far away that we were fine, but for safety reasons, the first couple of rows had to go. So the theater refunded their tickets for the next day because the person was so incredibly scared. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. I didn't really pay attention, but
That he barfed.
Gina and I think that the guy was drunk and mixed with the fear probably didn't help out too much because I've
And
never.
the probably the nasty fucking food, like
Yeah,
that artificial butter is
yeah.
just that. I don't
I
even know
mean,
what it is.
right? That was my experience for it, and I'm
I
like,
think it's
oh
just
my
straight olive
god.
oil. I think.
So that's another thing I want to compare with this movie. Before we get into the nuts and bolts with it, guys, when that happened, that brought me back to when my dad was telling me stories in Jaws in '75. This is our Jaws, guys. I mean,
Damn,
this is a huge summer blockbuster.
them's
This
big
is
words.
huge. No,
I
because like for
I'll
an
tell you what.
example,
I did have a lot of fun. It was like a blockbuster esque type fun, man. It's just fun, man. It's just a fun
mhm.
movie.
So Ed doesn't like it. Eric and I are probably on the same page. Let's get into the spoilers. Let's get into this movie. So if you've seen the 1990 version with Tim Curry as Pennywise, you pretty much get the same thing. They add some things to take some things out. But you get these group of kids, which are called the Losers Club, which is Bill, or Stuttering Bill. And then you got Ben, who's the new kid. You got Bev, who was the only chick of the group. You got Richie, who was the foul mouthed one. You got Stan, who's the Jewish guy. And then you got Mike, who's the black guy. And then Eddie is the one who is always has diseases and always sick. And he doesn't understand why his mom's
The
giving him
overly
pills with
cautious
gazebos in
guy.
it. Why are you giving me pills with gazebos?
He's
It's
the,
hilarious.
Yeah.
he's the Jiminy Cricket of the group.
Right. So we have all seen the original 1990 version of it. I had the privilege of reading the whole book. I was excited for it. The opening of the book is exactly the opening of this movie. What do you guys think? I don't mean to compare. I'm not going to do this all episode. But which opening is better? Is this opening better where
Oh,
literally
this one,
Georgie gets his
dude.
arm ripped off, or Tim Curry?
Why is there even a fucking debate? This one was way better, dude.
Okay. All right. Ed, which one? Do you have one?
That's why this movie, in my opinion, was such a disappointment and simultaneously hard to watch. Like, they ripped a kid's arm off, which was a great opening. I mean, and again, it makes sense in context. And I had a hard time watching that, but like, yeah, I mean, this opening was good. Like, it set the tone, and in Bill Skarsgård, like watching him in the storm drain was perfect. Like, that's one of the scariest scenes of all time. I will say that, in my opinion, that's fucking freaky. But like,
Okay.
I just say, to answer the question, this opening was better. Yeah.
Really? Because I did not know that Georgie got his arm ripped off until I read the book. I was like, "Oh my god!" Because when I read the book 2 months ago, and it was very vivid that his arm got ripped off and the neighbor just missed it. That is creepy. That's a lot better than Georgie just disappearing. Like that right there tells you that nobody is safe. Everybody's off limits because of how they killed Georgie. You know what I'm saying? Because you never saw the Georgie kill in the original movie.
Dude,
That makes it better.
I love that it was just fucking graphic too. Like I
I felt bad
remember
for that kid.
okay, so I had it privileged because around here in the fucking city boy or whatever we get, I had the luxury seats, fucking full big old length Tempur-Pedic recliner, a big old tub of popcorn, and I was in like the handicap spot too, so it was just me, front row. I mean, not even front row, but like on that room you walk in.
Yeah.
So it's just like perfect level. It's just I had the fucking works, boys. It was great. The theater was packed and the theater was interactive. This was like on a Sunday night. It was a late night show, so everyone there was older and a little rowdy, myself included. And when that scene happened, and Pennywise opens its mouth and grabbed the fucking arm and ripped that thing off, and you hear the kid just go, "No!" Just like, oh, and you get to see it all too. The audience went fucking nuts. It was great. I
No,
had
it
a
was great.
great time.
It was so cool to actually see Pennywise do something because in the original movie, Tim Curry just opened up his mouth and he had a little bit of fangs. And this one, his jaw opens up like a snake. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but you got to
A
remember,
little
like,
bit
and this is
more.
my opinion, why I think the Tim Curry version's a little bit creepier. It's because it's literally a dude in makeup. Like this is obviously CGI for the most part.
No.
And I mean, well, you're gonna have Bill Skarsgård's mouth open up like a goddamn hamster, like an alligator. Like it's mostly CGI. So the the thing with Tim Curry, why I don't want to say I like his portrayal better, but I was more freaked out by his portrayal,
Sure.
is because it's legitimately a dude in makeup doing it.
Well, here's a thing to add on that perfect thing. Did you guys notice something about Pennywise's eyes in this movie? How they were
Yeah, they're all
not looking
fucked up.
forward. One was looking left, one was looking right.
Yeah.
Well, Bill Skarsgård has a lazy eye.
No.
No,
So that's actually incorrect. So I was watching it's on YouTube. Go to the Stephen Colbert and type in Bill Skarsgård. That is a hidden talent. The director and him were trying to figure out how to make Pennywise even scarier, and the director found out that Bill Skarsgård actually can move his eyes independently and keep them there for a long period of time.
Fuck, it really.
That is
Are
not
you-
CGI. Yes. Watch the YouTube video for the fans and for you guys when we do that. When we get done doing the show, Stephen Colbert, Bill Skarsgård, and he talks about how he can move his eyes independently. That's his hidden talent.
That's awesome,
Well,
dude.
That made it creepy.
if that's the case, that I mean, that is kind of cool. But like, when he was in what the hell's that one show? Oh God, on Netflix that he's in.
Oh,
Oh God, you know what I'm talking
Hawthorne,
about?
is that what it is?
Yeah, I can't remember. Like that's where I first learned about him. But like,
I guess I could
he
just click on his fucking name here in IMDb.
yeah,
here.
Hemlock Grove. That's it.
Hemlock Grove.
Yeah, he's got an obvious lazy eye. So if he can move them independently, that's one thing. But like maybe he doesn't know that he's doing it because like he's got an obvious. It's obviously a lazy eye,
Maybe one's
which is
just
fine.
trying
I'm
to
not
get
meaning to
away.
make fun of him.
I don't
You know, I'm
think
not
there's-
making fun of him.
Yeah.
I have one too to a certain degree.
No, it's
But,
just
like-
trying to escape. The eye is I think it's trying to get out.
Yeah.
Well,
Skarsgård's
telling you,
clan
he was-
captures their eyes at a young age, and that's how they get their talent.
I'm just telling you from what he said, to Stephen Colbert, because I'm looking at lazy eye pictures right now of him, and there's not a single thing. He can just move his eye like that, both of his eyes.
Anyway, it was a really cool part, like especially in the sewer, when parts to point out when Georgie was talking to him, and right after Pennywise did the whole popcorn thing, pop pop pop, and Georgie starts laughing. He kind of laughs a little bit too hard, where he kind of scares the fear away from him for a bit, and kind of breaks Pennywise there for a minute.
I noticed that. That was so cool because he almost lost right there.
Yeah, he almost lost it right there. Like that was pretty fucking cool.
Which I really like that whole scene about, pop, 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 because Bill Skarsgård just went for it, man. I mean, that was so creepy. And you're right, Eric, because he realizes and he gets super serious, like, oh my God, this kid's not afraid of me. Shit, I'm going to lose this battle. But yeah, what a great kill. We get into our cast of characters. And out of the group of kids here, I was always a fan of Bill in the original movie. But I turned out to be a Bev fan in this one. I thought Beverly Marsh was the best out of the Losers Club. She was perfect in this movie, and her introduction was the best. My opinion on that one.
The bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have a hard time with her story arc. I mean, it is what it is. Like, that's the story arc, and that's why she's afraid of what she's afraid of. But there's just something in me that I have about kids in movies. Like, a kill is one thing. Like, they kill a bunch of fucking kids in this movie, but like the rape was just not cool. Like, maybe that turned me off on the whole movie, but like the fact that her entire existence revolved around being raped was
We
just
didn't get to
hard. I mean,
we didn't get to see any that was only implied or suggested.
Absolutely.
no, but like it's implied. I get that, but like at the same time, like the moment she's introduced, and then her dad shows up in the apartment when she has like the box of tampons. That's not her introduction, but like it's later in the story, and he grabs her hand and gives her that look and says, "You're still my baby girl," or and she calls him daddy the whole movie. Like, that's fucking creepy. Like,
maybe
that's not
creepy.
cool.
Maybe creepy, but there's no reason for you to be turned off on the movie because, I mean, you got to understand here. I mean, that is the character overall in a nutshell, and this is not the last that we've seen her father either. Spoilers
No,
for the book.
and I get that. I do get that, but like it's just hard for me to get into that. Like, I get it's not it's just a movie, but like that was hard for me to watch, and I don't have any personal experience with this, obviously. But like, I just have a mental hiccup when it comes to that shit.
Okay, well, fair enough. We talked about some of the kids here, but I want to talk about one of my other favorite parts in this, and that's Henry Bowers, the leader of the Bowers gang. My lord.
Dude,
Oh my god, yeah, I hated him. They did a good job of making you hate him. I fucking hated him.
You know what I loved about him? He reminded me of, because he looked, just the way he looked and the way he acted, he reminded me of the jerk in the old Nickelodeon show, Salute Your Shorts, that always was trying to get there. You guys remember
was a
that
great
guy?
show.
was Spudnik or something like that?
Yes, but something like that.
Yeah.
He was in T2 with Eddie Furlong in the beginning.
Yeah,
but,
in the beginning.
yeah. But I mean, like, Henry Bowers was great. I was really happy to see Belch back in this. But
Donkey lips.
Donkey lips, but I like Belches. But so out of the kids, especially with Henry Bowers
Budnick.
here,
Budnick.
Eric, what was one of your favorite characters of it? I mean, anybody in the Losers Club, Henry Bowers? Like, was there one that you gravitated towards more?
Well, I obviously the guy who played Richie, Finn Wolfhard. Man, I related to him a lot because that was basically me as a kid, man. Just some fucking
Foul mouth asshole.
loudmouth asshole, man. Like everything. I always had a punchline. Like everything was a
Nice.
joke. Always had a punchline. Always looking for a laugh type thing. That's me. That's still me. I think to a certain degree now. Maybe I've calmed down a bit, but
Okay.
but no, like I just relate to that character, and so I thought that the kid played it really well. He stole the show, man. That the kid stole the movie.
What about you, Eric? Which kid do you identify with the
You
most?
mean Ed?
Sorry, Ed. My fault.
Well, I mean, I guess if I had to identify with one, I don't know that I could because, I mean, like I've always been an asshole smart mouth, and I've always been real talkative like Eddie. And the thing is, I went with a buddy of mine, like a guy who's like a real bro, like the kind that makes stupid jokes all the time. And I know that every time they made an Eddie's mom's vagina joke, like I'm going to hear an Eddie's mom vagina joke now for like every day for the next 3 months. But like, and then Ben, I mean, I was never the new kid per se, but like I just liked weird stuff. I still like New Kids on the Block and made punchlines, and then like somebody else always got the girl that I liked. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
Sure.
I mean, the combination of those three, I guess, would be more applicable.
Nice. What would you guys say I would be? Stuttering Bill? Or would I be the Jew?
You'd be whichever. You'd be the slut.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you definitely better
Nice.
letting a bunch of guys just run train. Yep.
The last thing I want to add was just I really like the fact that this is in the 80s because I pointed out to my wife in theaters. I was like, oh, look, honey, look at the marquee in the theater. It says Lethal Weapon 2 and Batman. So that was really cool to get you into the times of it. But then the movie starts to get creepy. We get Mike, who is the forgive me, Tolkien black guy of the town, it seems like, as well. And his fear is his house being caught on fire and his parents are dead. And that was creepy when he was in the alleyway, the butcher house, the alleyway with the butcher, and all these burnt hands were trying to. Oh my God, that was bad.
It's great.
And then Pennywise was hanging there. Oh, Jesus.
Those red eyes, it was great, man. Like,
Yeah.
Pennywise really was scary as shit, man. Like, they did a really good job. When they weren't doing the scare scenes, you're building a good feelings for the characters, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the humor does that. Or you feel really bad because Ben is getting his ass kicked, and a fucking again graphic scene of him getting carved up, man.
Right? They did that for a second. Speaking of Ben, what sold me that the movie was going to be good, well, I don't know for you guys, but it was that moment where, oh, this movie's going to be really good, was when Ben was alone in the library in the basement and that headless corpse was chasing after him. And the way that corpse moved was just so incredible. And doing research in it, that was a mine. There was no CG until they did cuts, but the way that thing moved was a dude in a costume.
Without a head?
Well, he had his head was, I mean, like
He removed his head?
They CG'd the head off, of course. But I mean, it was just so cool how they did that.
Yeah, I think he did a pretty good job. Then
that was
that was some freaky movements, man. It was a little
crazy.
It was a little silly, but I thought I was all along with it.
So of course this would not be Movie Guys podcast without gripes, and I know Ed's chomping at the bit at this one. But here's one of my problems with the movie that I discovered is if this is Pennywise's house, and everybody in town kind of knows it, kind of doesn't know it. When he's sleeping within the 27 years, why don't they just bulldoze it? Just take it down because it's the only house on the block that looks like a crack house.
Yeah, property tax, maybe it's paid off. Who knows?
But that is kind of a flaw, though, right? I mean, that's quite kind of like the 1990s version of the explanation more, because he didn't have a house. Don't have a house. It's just not. My opinion.
Maybe they got together, the committee, and they were just like, hey, I know that like having an abandoned house at the end of the street may seem like, not a good idea to have around, but we're also a cute little town, and this is kind of how stories start, so we're going to keep it.
Well, do you guys think that every adult in town knows what's going on?
At least the neighbors do. The fuck, man? Did you see how close those houses were? And the kids, they just put their bikes in the middle of the street. Those are my gripes there, Jordan. Let's get to the real fucking gripes. The ones where, like, they're as a group and they fucking just, like, herding cats. They can't be just, stay together. Stay your fucking ass together. And then one of them hears, like, a pebble rolling, and then they go off into a corner. Hey, just so your friend get fucked up here, we should all stay as a vroom. It goes off into you're by yourself.
Right.
I'm lost. I don't know. I just saw you just solo that shit, dude. You just ran to that room by yourself. The fuck were you thinking, man? So
just like the idiot friend of the Henry Bowers gang after they cut up Ben and the kid was chasing him and they had a bunch of zombie kids in the sewer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was creepy.
That's a dope scene.
That was our next kill. We really didn't see how he got killed though, which I kind of wished we got more of that.
Yeah,
but
it was still some gruesome shit. We got to see that.
That
was a good one.
Ed, so far you're not talking much. Eric and I are just literally on our knees. We need knee pads. That's how much we're on our knees right now. What is your issue besides everything that you have just said about the supposed rape and all this? Why don't you think that this is the greatest horror film of all time? Because it's made $210 million. I mean, what's so bad about this?
Forget about the context of the story. It is a well done film. Like it's it's well acted in, it's well directed, it's well written. It's a good looking movie. It just it doesn't deliver on the scares. It tries to be multiple things that I don't like. And Eric, you'd mentioned it, like maybe that's the trend now. But like, if you're gonna be a psychological fucked up movie, be a psychological fucked up movie. If you're going to be a slasher, gore movie, be a slasher gory movie. Like the reason Annabelle Creation got me all fucked up when we watched it was because that was all psychological and it got everything that went bump in the night for me. And it took me like a day to recover from that movie because of how psychological it was. This movie, if it would have gone in either direction strictly, it would have been better. But it half-assed both of them.
Ooh.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's a well done movie, but like, yeah, okay. So you see the kid like stab his father in the neck. That's a good kill, and you see Pennywise, pull his little alien mouth out and bite some kid's arm off. That's also a good kill. But then it's like, but then you get into the psychological stuff, and it takes away from the other kills. It takes away from the kills, and it doesn't give you enough of the psychological. It waters them both down, in my opinion.
He's got a point.
And you know what I mean? So like I don't think that the story could have been any different because it's a different content, or it's somebody else's story, and it probably more closely mirrors the book. I didn't read the book. It probably more closely mirrors the book than the TV version did because you could do more things in a movie than you can in a made-for-TV special. That being said, although I was creeped out by Pennywise in this movie, I was for different reasons. And they tried to give you the same scare multiple times, which for a TV Pennywise works because they can't do a whole lot. But in this movie, like the Pennywise, the jump moments, the scary moments, it's the same thing 37 times. He jumps at you, he runs at you, he jumps at you. The scarier moments for me with Pennywise in this movie was when they were more psychological, like he's just there and he's fucking with you. That sort of got me tensed up. And then they did the same scare again. He ran at you, and then he got all fuzzy and ran at you again. And then he was in the slideshow, and he got giant and ran at everybody again.
The projector
It's just
scene was pretty dope.
Yeah.
That was badass. That projector scene
it was a
great.
dope scene. It was each scene
understand
wasn't
you.
bad, but it's the same scene over and over and over and over again with the same attempted scare. The only moment I can say that I legitimately jumped was that scene, that projector scene. But it was it was just thinking back on it. It's the same attempt of scare, and like it didn't work for me because they sort of muddied everything down. If you would have went to
Okay.
one kill, attempted scare, more horror, more gore or more psychological, I probably would have liked it better.
I think this is the difference in the trend though, because you have, and it really does work. I think there's you have a couple of different subgenres of horror that are coming out. So when you have something that's under the Conjuring kind of umbrella and the James Wan umbrella, like that's horror that takes itself more seriously. There are rules that it follows. There are ways that and certain people that you kill, certain types of people. There are certain stories that that you implement into the characters and kind of that thing. So there's that something like this and like what was another one? Drag Me to Hell, if you guys remember that one, or like
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil or something like that. Slither was another one.
Slither.
Slither was great.
These are
James Gunn.
these are movies where I mean like I use the term date movie a lot, but these are more like I think I'm gonna stay with it before. These are more like haunted house movies because it's just a fun thing. This is like, hey, you go with your friends, be like, hey, let's get fucked up, let's go see this old fucking silly movie, and then go through the House of Mirrors after. And I think that's just kind
I
of like this is what it is, where it's a movie that's it's not taking itself seriously, and it's a good awareness to have. It's leaving the more crazier scares to the other people, and it's just saying, hey, we're just gonna have a good time in here. So, but
yeah, I
I
mean,
understand,
I see your point. Yeah.
and I see your point too, because I understand like a lot of those parts where Pennywise would do like the erratic kind of movements, the quick shaking back and forth or whatever, and just charge at you, and then all you have to do is just kind of just turn and run away. That's about it. Like,
Yeah, or just turn the light on
yeah, like it is
or
something
open the garage door.
like I'd be like,
That was
okay,
funny
like
though.
what the fuck, Pennywise? Like, was that it? Like, if you wanted me, you could have had me right there. Instead, you just
Hmm.
are being a dick and just scaring me for some fucking reason. But yeah, obviously he feeds off of fear and shit like that too. But
Right.
whatever.
Well, for
So basically, Monsters Inc. is like a few levels away from what the hell it is, right?
pretty well to a certain degree, its true form
Without the
is a
sex,
yeah.
Monsters Inc. is basically it, where they
Yes,
scare because they fuel the energy needs off of the fear.
pretty much. There definitely has been some different things, but the reason why I kind of disagree with Ed, and we'll go on to the next thing about it, is this movie to me is Jaws. Why Jaws is so successful is because you got the horror, you got the gore when the shark eats or where's the shark, but then you got the drama and you got a good story with the townspeople. This is Jaws. Pennywise is the great white shark.
I
So
absolutely disagree with you, hands
you
down.
have to you have to know your characters. You have to like your characters. So when their lives are in danger, you're like, oh my god, please don't get it, please don't get it. And then when the shark, a la, comes out and threatens the characters that you like, better. That's what I'm saying. That this kind of rated R movie, the the movies of Jason and Freddy and Michael boys is completely done. They're going to continue to make movies like this because this is what's successful. Um, that's my opinion on that one.
Well, and I see your opinion. It's just like to compare this movie to Jaws in that sense, and here's why I'm disagreeing with you on that. Is that like even to this day, people are afraid to go swim in the ocean. Not that they don't, but like they're afraid that back then they were afraid to sit on the toilet. They thought Jaws was going to come bite them in the ass. But that changed an entire generation and subsequent generations mindsets about the water. They're more afraid of sharks now than they ever should have been. People are either freaked out by clowns or they're not. You know what I mean? So I'm not afraid of a clown, but then you get somebody like John Wayne Gacy, which that concept scares the shit out of me. This is not going to change an entire generation or subsequent generations concepts of clowns or like fear of bump in the night or fear of anything other than what they're already afraid of. Anybody that you go to a beach now, people are literally sitting there watching for a shark because they want to make sure their kids and family are safe. Not that sharks weren't a problem before, but they're not really that big of a problem. More people die having their refrigerators fall on them every year than are bit by sharks. So like it's not that it's an illegitimate fear. It's just an overblown one because of Jaws.
Sure, I get that. To go on to other things without Jaws, I want to talk about the Leper Man because Jesus Christ, this goes into the part where the kids are getting frustrated. We have the projector scene, and then they go into Pennywise's house, and Pennywise says the famous line, "Beep beep, Richie," which that was great to see. And this is where I thought Pennywise shined, was in his house. What do you guys think of him shining in his house? Like, it was great, right?
I mean, we had to see some fun stuff in the house. It was some double, especially a very weird camera decision made by who the fuck ever to stabilize Pennywise's face during some sort of dance sequence.
Oh, yeah, that was at the end. That was at the end.
That was
But yeah,
unusual. That was a
so the
weird
loser
thing.
club figures out that there is this uh, there there is this well in the basement of the house, and they're going to go down there to actually confront it because it has kidnapped Bev to lure them down there. And we get an epic fight, and this is where Pennywise gets the most scary. And you guys see a little bit of his
The
true
deadlights.
form, the Deadlights, and we also get the chance to see who he really is a little bit. We'll find more in part 2, but we do get the introduction of him as a giant spider, which I can't wait for that in part 2, where he fights the turtle. So we'll look into that one.
Oh yeah, and we get to
Literally,
see a Lego turtle.
yes,
Yeah.
that's why they get the
Couple of
referencing turtles.
What's that?
Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was
Uh,
it was a foreshadow and an homage. I thought it more of an homage. I didn't know they were gonna do a part 2, but yeah,
well, yeah,
more of a foreshadow.
they're gonna do a part 2. That's just the way it is. This movie
We know
also
that now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Before we get into our worth it or not worth it reviews here, I mean, if you have not seen this movie, of course we spoiled the living hell out of it, but it's really really good. This is probably the best movie of the year so far, right? I mean, this is great that we reviewed. I mean, there's been some good ones, but this is probably the best overall movie that we've seen this year.
Well, I mean, I
Like,
had a
this
lot
is
of
good.
fun. I had a lot of fun, and then you know what? That's plain and simple here, boys. Like I like these types of movies. Like I said before, these types of these horror playful movies, these haunted house kind of fun house, thrill house type these movies. Kind of like a drive-in movie.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
true.
know, like this would be a pretty fun drive-in movie. So like I mean just it's it was just fun. Like I don't know, man. It got ridiculous at some parts. I can't deny that. Like that's fucking for sure. It got really intense at other parts too, where it was like uncomfortably so. The theater moaned at the Lois Lane part. Uh,
Oh really?
Everyone
Okay,
else
that
seemed to be pretty
stinks.
cool about everything else that happened in the movie theater. But that part, that was everyone else was cool about the kid getting a child being thrown down or going down a well to his death. Everyone was cool with that. But no, the Lois Lane part, everyone was like, no, that's not good. Kill
Too
more
much.
kids. You can kill the kids. You
Yeah,
can't touch them.
can't do that. So we're gonna get into the is it worth it or is it not? So Ed, I kind of want to hear what you say because you always go first. Is
Yeah, I mean,
it chapter 1 worth it?
I've given my 2 cents. So to go and rehash over everything, as to why I'm not a huge fan of the movie. Um, I'm going to obviously disagree with the two of you. I don't think this movie is worth the hype. I think the movie's worth the money. I just don't think it's worth the hype in the sense that like I went into it, I came out of it, you know, in having enjoyed myself at a great movie, but I didn't thoroughly enjoy it the way you two guys did. So, I mean, if I having a gun to my head, having to pick, I would say yes, it's worth it. But like, it's like 51-49 in that direction.
Wow, disappointing. All right, well, Eric, is it worth it?
Yeah, I say this movie's definitely worth it. I just enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. Again, it got a there were parts where it got I understand Ed's gripe completely because this movie goes left and right and then up and down very quickly because you have tension breaking moments of comedy where a character says something and then you have tension building moments through Pennywise doing some funky shit and then you have like weird kind of character building lulls where they go through their own trials of abuse. Like you have kids being bullied, you have kids being
Hmm.
molested by parents, you have kids with issues with parents, they have kids issues. I mean, like each kid has their own little thing about what's going on, and those are the character building moments. I get that, but I guess I'll blame Stephen King for that one because I mean, what's going on, what they're doing? A lot of them, you're just like, whoa, you gotta fucking step back, man. That's some hard growing up. But that's the theme of this. Like these kids, are they have to grow up quick. This is kind of a bridge between childhood and adulthood in a sense, is what kind of a huge part of this book is.
Right.
And yeah, and Pennywise being the fear of that, It's as a kid, it's scary to grow up, and yeah, that's Pennywise. Is their fear of
Gotcha.
growing up, played by
um,
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård.
It's worth it. I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
would say most certainly go see it in theaters. I would even consider getting this and adding it to my collection.
And
Yeah. No,
here's
I'm
the
gonna
thing,
buy this.
Jordan. Before you jump in, I just was doing some research, and I found out that the writer for this movie, there were two other ones, but like the one with legit credits, also wrote Annabelle, wrote Annabelle Creation, wrote The Nun. So like that's where you get the psychological stuff. Like I was okay with all that, and Annabelle Creation scared the piss out of me. But like the guy who wrote it, who's getting the main credit for the writing, uh,
Sure.
wrote and it was the designer behind Annabelle and Annabelle Creation.
Yeah, well, also it all depends on how good the director is. So, yeah, no, this movie's totally worth it. I'm gonna buy this on Blu-ray. Everybody needs to see this movie. This is not something that you will be disappointed in seeing. I'm sorry, Ed, I cannot disagree with you anymore. We're on totally different sides of the fence here.
Yeah.
This movie is completely, almost damn near perfect. This is the best Stephen King movie adaptation ever. This is better than The Shining. This is shot well. It's acted well. Bill Skarsgård is a genius, and everything about this is great. And I'm gonna go back for a third time probably tomorrow because it's just that good. However, though, we'll be back next week, of course, for another awesome episode, like we always give you guys. Make sure to check us out at movieguyspodcast.com and also on our Podbean page, which is movieguyspodcast.podbean.com, and on our Twitter account. Just look for Movie Guys Pod and iTunes Movie Guys Podcast. We also have some other great shows, a part of our B-Word Network, which is For Your Distraction, Hey, I Like That Game, and then a sub-show that I do, which is Podpast. And also, I know this show is over with for the season, but if you still have not gotten your fix of Game of Thrones, Eric and Ed did their own Game of Thrones special. So make sure to check out all reviews of all 7 episodes of those, right? There were 7 of them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Make sure to check out reviews for all 7 of those films. There were more reaction episodes of, oh my God, this is just happening. They got me into it. I watched 2 more episodes. Still not a fan, but because of their show, I kind of watched it. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for downloading us, and we'll be back next week. Take care.